9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Tune in.
This is your Friday Night Light podcast, photo and entertainment, and Middle Georgia sales and services.
Coke, don't worry about Pepsi. I had to go see a man about a meal.
Look at here, look at here.
A-Town down.
And you better not lose.
Tune in.
Not so fast, my friend.
You better say it with your chest.
Come on now, shout it.
And you better not lose.
Hey, you better watch your mouth now.
I am a label.
Better shut your mouth.
Yes, I am. I don't mean to interrupt.
Better say it with your chest.
Let's get it.
And you better not lose.
What the hell he doing? What that dude doing up in here in the corner? He ain't supposed to be coming on yet. He trying to sneak in. Get up out of here, wizard. Anyway, good afternoon, people. How y'all doing out there in podcast land?
Hi, everybody. How are you? Welcome. Y'all come on in and let us know you're here. How you doing? Obadiah, welcome. How you doing, Jamie? Colquitt is in the house.
Now, y'all know the routine. We got drinks and chicken wings in the back. I think we got some chicken strips also. But we do got something special for y'all today. We have another yellow jacket in the house on the live with us today. And no, he's not from TCC. No, he's not from Cook. He's from Georgia Tech. We're gonna welcome Drew back to the show. Drew, how you doing today?
Doing great. Just wrapped up a long day of school. Ready to relax and talk some football.
All
I
right.
hear you. So again, we're gonna make everyone aware of who Drew is if you do not know and you are new to the show. Drew is the owner and content creator of the IG site GAHF Football on Instagram. So if you haven't already done so, please go follow him on Instagram. As he supports us, we support him.
Exactly.
Thank
What's
you.
going on, Jeremy? How you doing, J-Bo? Welcome. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. What's going on, Marquise? Good evening. What's going on, Scott Westbrook 2.0? Schlott is in the building. How you doing, Al? Big Chris is here.
Well, see,
And
I ain't gonna get started with Twin. What's going on, Twin? I ain't gonna get started with Twin yet.
how y'all
I'll wait till Friday.
doing? So y'all are in for a treat because Drew is back.
And he's made some interesting observations for this current season, which we are going to share with you all and let him talk about it. Well, shall I say, we're going to conversate about it. I'm going to do it like that.
Yes.
Converse. There
Yeah.
you go. I'm not good with those big A words.
You're fine. You're just fine. What's going on, Barry? Mr. Pierce County is here. All right.
So, Drew,
Yep.
you got playoffs coming up in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And you sat down today and you put together some ranking movers by class.
Mm-hmm.
So, you ready? You feel like going through them for a hot second?
Sure, why not?
The floor is yours.
All right, so this is what we got. I'm gonna try and blow this up a little bit so people can. Nah, it ain't gonna go no bigger. So this is what we got.
So,
Excuse me.
It's pretty simple. There wasn't too much thought that went into this one. The goal of this post was kind of just to show you how teams have moved throughout the season. Now, what I did do that instead of just making it like a normal of this team moved from here to here, this team moved from here to here, I kind of ranked them in order of how surprising it was. So the team on the top, for example, Tryon, their rise from unranked to number 4 was, in my opinion, more shocking than Commerce's rise to number 7, which is more shocking than Lamar County's rank up to 5. So I kind of made it interesting in that sense. Probably should have specified that, but I figured people would catch on.
Okay. Now these fallers since preseason. 2 on there that jumps out right at me right off the bat: Irvin County and Brooks County.
Yeah. Two big time powers. We've seen Irwin make a ton of state championships. Same with Brooks. But I guess we all expected, or at least I did, expected Irwin and Brooks to fall off a little bit this season. I thought coaching would kind of carry them, but it seems like the talent or production they lost was so great that both of them just ended up falling out of the top 10. So the Irwin Brooks matchup, which is often probably the best matchup in 81 every year, is now just an average matchup. And it was 21-6 in Brooks County's favor. So still like an old type of Brooks Irwin matchup, but score wise, but in terms of the talent and the quality of play, it's just different. I feel like the peak of Irwin and Brooks has passed. If they can get back to it, that'd be really awesome. I'd love to see it. But right now, they're going through a rough patch, both of them at the same time.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Because I know during our preseason assessments, we did have some questions about both teams coming into the season, and I think a lot of those questions have been answered for
Oh
us.
yeah.
Darlington, I see, and I understand why you have them on the list and why they're low on your list, but I still look at Darlington when you look at them 6-3 overall, 4-1 in the region. Now, people do have to understand they're in the Region 7A Division One with Tryon, which they play in 2 weeks to see how that division unfolds going into the playoffs, right? So that's the game I'm looking for. Darlington and Tryon to close the season out for that particular region. In my mind, it's
Yeah.
going to be an interesting game.
I think it could be. The thing with Darlington is, in that classification, I felt 81 was a little weak this year, so I felt Darlington could slot into the top 10. But it's been a little rough at times. They got blown out by Sonoraville, lost to Northwest Whitfield, got blown out by Pepperell. So not exactly a top 10 caliber team. But I give Wayne Groves some credit here. He's gonna have some work to do, and I think if you give it a couple years, he'll be totally fine. Groves was the defensive coordinator at Rome. So when you can coach such a great defense at a school like Rome, you can do the same thing at a school like Darlington. But that process takes time. You can't just walk in on day one and expect for it to happen. I mean, Kirby Smart, Nick Saban, they all took more than 1 year to figure their stuff out. So I give them time.
For sure. Man, I don't know. Got another bot in here. Let me get this bot up out of here. Okay, there the bot's gone, people. All right, let's go Division 2.
Yeah, again, not much. I think the biggest surprise was Macon County. If you look at them like a snapshot over the past 3 years, you might say it's not that surprising. But considering how bad they were last year, this is a massive step up. That started by beating Clinch, and they've been pretty consistent since there. Nothing's convinced me that they're a fraud so far, which is a good thing. Greene County has, I think, probably the weirdest result of this entire season. People are going to think this is what I'm saying is whack, but the weirdest result of the season was Greene County beating Morgan County. I think that, to me, that made absolutely no sense, because if you look at the ranks of these two teams, and now both teams are ranked in their respective classes, it's just weird. I mean, you have upsets in other classes, but the Greene versus Morgan County game was an odd one. I think it has the potential to throw rankings into whack depending how the playoffs goes. So
I'm with you. Now I am going to take it to effect, because me personally, I'll say the first 2 weeks of the season, coaches are trying to figure out what they really have, and they're working with. So that Morgan County loss did come in the second week of the season, so it was an early loss for Morgan County, which allowed Morgan County to bounce back from that loss.
Yeah, I just think Morgan County should have won that game by a lot.
Yeah, but Greene County is a shock to me this year. I'm still trying to figure out where they came from, because I mean, to me, they just came out of nowhere, to be honest with you. So when you look back, go ahead.
Oh, there's just, and it's not the same in the higher classifications where there's more talent and better coaching. But I think at the lower classifications, it's much easier for a team to have like a breakout season. After going maybe 6-5, then starting off the next year 7-0, it's very much possible because the volatility in the lower classifications is much greater, and so is the parity. So it's not surprised to me to see this, because if you look at it from a different angle, with the same volatility, it goes both ways. Some teams will also end up playing squads that are much worse than the previous version the year before. So, for example, playing Irwin this year is not the same as playing Irwin last year, right? So that volatility in rankings at the lower classes allows a team like Greene County, for example, to play what we would consider a tough schedule last year, but an easier schedule this year because of how teams have phased out.
Yeah, but I know one of the things for me for Greene County, when you look at them over the last 3 years, they've won a total of 11 games over the last 3 years. I'm under the impression, the one, they got a good class coming through right now, and they've exceeded all expectations on this season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I read a couple of comments.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so welcome, Marco. You're not too late, Marco. He hasn't said anything about the Jenkins County War Eagles yet. We'll get to them in a minute. What's going on, Montegas? Big Greene County is in the building. Jeremy, don't start today, please. TCC's checking in. What's going on? Kenneth Hurst. Ken Hortman says Brooks is really young and pretty small because they are young. The Trojans and Irwin are way down on talent. Small rural counties just doesn't get the transfers like teams around larger towns and cities. Scott says Green struggled with Oglethorpe a few weeks later.
They did. It was 14-7.
Wow. Deshaun says, good evening, everyone. How are you, Deshaun? Welcome. And Rashid Slade. Bacon County is checking in. Battle test Friday in Brooks. Oh, and we let Pelham kick us in the mouth, and they only brought 8 fans. Sorry to hear that, Rashid.
But yeah, I know since he did, they brought up Jenkins County, which I was going to touch on. Jenkins County is a surprise to me too, in D2, just given the fact of their past history. I mean, you got a team, again, that won, 14 games in the last 3 years since 2020. Now they have a chance.
Not to interrupt you real quick, Thirst, but then Jenkins had a pretty good run last year.
They went 7-4 last year.
Yeah.
But they got put out in the first round by Dooley County. But my thing I was going to get to was I think we all kind of expected MCA, McIntosh County Academy, or ECI to come out of that region.
Well, I know ECI has kind of fallen off over the years.
Yeah. But and that's what I was going to get at. And that's what I was going to get at with my statement was, McIntosh had been controlling that region for the last couple of years. Outside of when they had Metter in there. But for the most part, it's been McIntosh Academy. And that's what I know I was expecting this year.
Yeah.
I think for me, the reason Jenkins County is at the bottom of that, which means is least surprising for me, is I was actually pretty decently high on Jenkins County early in this, or going back to last year. I'm looking at like the AJC's rankings and all these services, and none of them had Jenkins County ranked, even though they were pretty decent last year. I remember I had them ranked for a couple weeks until they lost to Dooley in the playoffs. So for me, Jenkins, I already had him. I looked at their returning production; they had a good amount of production returning. So they were sitting at like 11 or 12 the entirety of the first few weeks, and then they kind of just jumped in the rankings and never left since. So not a surprise. It wasn't that big of a surprise for me. I think the weirdest part of this was I was watching preseason games. I was watching it, and then one of the games I stumbled on was Bryan County versus Jenkins County, and I watched that game and I was thinking, dang, I think Bryan County is either pretty good or Jenkins County is pretty bad. And then what I came to realize as the season goes on was that both of these teams are just playing at a much better level than people thought they were. Bryan County is a borderline top 10 team in their class. So is Jenkins County, and actually they're down 7th. So watching that Jenkins County, Bryan County game, it gave me a lot of insight into how good or not Jenkins and Bryan would be. And here we are, Jenkins County is undefeated. They've had some pretty interesting results, but the one thing I'll say is this game against ECI is not a walkover. Do not consider it that, because this ECI team is a very tricky team. They're 4-4. They kind of remind me of Georgia Tech, to be honest. This is a team that loses to Portal by 40, right? That's just like us losing to Bowling Green. But then they beat Dublin 10-7. They lose to Swainsboro by 15. They beat the crap out of McIntosh County. They lose to Metter by 7. So this is a very volatile team. I keep using that word a lot because it's true. Any given week, this team can pull off an upset. So if Jenkins County is off with the option a little bit, then ECI can pounce.
Good stuff.
What's going on, O'Neal? Torrance says Friday, Clinch needs to give their soul to the Lord because their behind belongs to Charleston at 7:30.
Clinch will win. Clinch will
Okay.
win.
Easily.
Charlton is not good.
Montega said, well, Marco says ECI got thumped by Portal, and Drew touched on that. Montega says turnovers kept that game close. Which game, Montega's? Let us know what it is. And Marco says truth. I'm assuming he's talking about the volatility of ECI.
It's Montego Greene County. Is he talking about the Greene County Oglethorpe game? Maybe.
Yeah, it could be. But at the end of the day, see, I get a lot of people text me on my account, and the number one thing is when they have a close game, somebody texts me and says, "Oh, it was just it was because of turnovers, it was because of refs." I know you can't control the refs, but you shouldn't be in a position to put the game in the hands of the refs, especially if you're favored by a lot.
Yeah.
And the other thing about turnovers is, I don't know if you realize this, but like when you fumble the ball, that's your fault. So. Or that team is very good at like turnovers aren't just something you say, yeah, don't worry, it's because of turnovers it was close. Yeah, those turnovers were forced or it was a giveaway for a reason. I don't think you just hand the ball to the other team, do you? I don't think so.
What's going on, D'Angelo? Welcome. Jacket Nation in the building. We still handing out pies. You need to be baking some more pies for Friday. Stop handing out them old pies.
I know them beans about expired.
Yeah. Marco said Dublin fumbled on the goal line and gave up a defensive touchdown.
Dang.
That's part of football. That's a lot of games can be described on how you win or lose, but that loss is still a loss,
Yeah. At the end of the day, it goes in the column as an L. I mean, as a coach, I guess you can walk away from a game and be like, oh, technically we won the game. The refs were not on our side. To me, I can't. The way I describe it to people in another fashion is, if I give you that sort of leeway that, it's the refs, I have to give that same sort of leeway to every team. Whatever I do to one team, I got to do to every other team. It's just for being fair. So if I give you the leeway of refs, I got to go give 400 teams the leeway of refs. And when that happens, everything goes out of whack. So I'd rather just look at the result of the game, see what happens, look at the stats, and what can I do for every team? That's exactly what I can do for every team. Look at the stats, look at the result of the game, look at their resume, kind of like that.
Facts. Largest faller since preseason. I'm with you on Wilcox County, but to me, well, you know what? Now looking at it and thinking about it, Wilcox is a bigger fall than Dooley because Dooley took, because Dooley took losses to one larger opponent and some better opponents. So I'm with you on that because when you look at Wilcox, Lamar County, Blackley, Telfair, and Dooley, they lost to.
That's rough.
Yeah.
And when you look at the rosters of Dooley and Wilcox have a stud. And there's no way you would thought Wilcox would be performing the way they have this year. So I can agree with that on Wilcox.
I was expecting Wilcox to be a pretty decently ranked team. And the weird thing about Wilcox is they showed this last year. I'd be interested to see if this happens again. But they showed this exact same thing last year. They started off like 0-3, and I had them ranked pretty high. I had them in my top 5. Then they lost 3 straight games in a row, but then won every single game remaining until the quarterfinals. Yeah. So Wilcox is just a weird team to play with. I don't understand what they're doing. They always lose games at the beginning of the year, then put on a giant run, lose maybe an upset on the way, or pull off an upset on the way, and then lose in the quarterfinals or the semis.
Yeah. Marco says Dublin fumbled on the goal line. Oh, I said that one. D'Angelo says he follows you on IG, Drew.
Oh, thank you.
Marco says turnovers kill. We were fortunate to catch up past Johnson County.
Boy, I'm sorry, Marco. You funny.
Be quiet, Mike.
Okay.
We had 3 turnovers and gave up a defensive touchdown. Over 400 yards of offense, gave up 56, but only won by 2.
I like this comment.
That's why, in my honest opinion, this is the best. In my opinion, this is the best podcast ever. Y'all break it down and get straight facts. Thank you so much, Rashid. We appreciate you. Welcome, Rodriguez Mumford Sr. He says, Big Green County checking in. Borough boys are going to win the D2A championship. Best defense this year. Okay.
We'll see.
Whoa, we're gonna mute your microphone, Joe. Whoa, you came in with a lot of wind.
You good, Marco. We know what you meant, baby.
All right, let me see. Early County, I get that one. With the two losses to Sly and Brooks. The loss to Brooks to me is the one that really hurt them.
Yeah, I mean, you can't blame anybody for losing to Sly this year. Sly is a good team.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Yeah, for
number
sure.
one for a reason. They're number one by a mile. I think Bowden is second. Bowden's actually a good. The weird thing about Bowden is everybody expected them to fall off, but they've actually done a great job hanging in there. So if we see Sly and Bowden again meet in the state championship, I'd be pretty happy.
It'll be an interesting game.
Is Green County D2 or D1?
Green County's D2.
Okay, well, Rodriguez and Montega said that Green County will be playing for the state championship. So
they will be playing for the state championship against Sly and all.
And what?
Rodriguez said Sly County hasn't seen the Borough boys' defense.
It won't be tackle football. I can tell you that much.
Okay, here's the thing with Green County's defense. Name one team that they've played so far that has relied more on the pass than the run.
We'll wait.
Because the issue, so the thing with defenses at this level, in smaller class football, is a lot of the offenses you will face are run based, and it's easier because it's harder to find a quarterback in smaller towns that can pass the ball as proficiently as somebody in Gwinnett County, for example, where you have more options. So you have more raw athletes that you can convert into option style football per se. So when Green County plays teams like Lincoln County or Best Academy from the north or Hancock Central or teams like these, you're playing against run defenses, so to check in on the run because these quarterbacks don't have the arm strength to throw the ball more than 30 yards. When you play Sly, that's a different beast. This is a team that passed for 3,300 yards last year. This is a team that plays football like they're in 3A or 4A. They can throw the ball proficiently. So I don't doubt that Green County's defense is very good. I'm just curious to see if they can do the same thing against a team that is extremely pass heavy.
Good point.
Marco says
So basically,
going to see them in the third round. Remind us again who you represent, Marco.
It don't matter if you send Sly County in the third round. That's where your season ends.
Marco, let us know what your are you Sly? I think you are. I'm getting mixed up, but
okay. Well, that's the only thing that is gonna save Marco if he is Sly, because I don't think Marco is Sly. And again, if you see Sly County in any round, that's in your season.
He didn't say Sly. He said Green is going to see us in the third round.
Okay.
That's
Jenkins versus Green will be a fun game. Jenkins, I think if I remember correctly, Jenkins runs that option style too. But the thing is, they're actually really good at it. So, man, I'd love to see that. I'm wondering if Green County can keep up with that Jenkins County offense as well. Because if Green can only put up 13 against Oglethorpe, I mean, there might be some issues.
Rodriguez said they can cover their receivers man up.
Yeah, that's what everybody says. And then you play them.
I know, right?
That's not a high school thing. That's like every single level of the game. If you've ever even talked to a college player, they'll be like, if you talk to a Georgia Tech player and you ask them, can you cover UGA's receivers? Their confidence is going to say, yeah. I mean, I think we can go toe to toe with them. What are they supposed to say? No, we can't. So at every level, I've heard people talk about, yeah, we can easily do it. It's easy. You can say it's easy to do it until you play them and then get your butt kicked by them and then realize it wasn't so easy.
Good point, Drew.
Yep. Back all day on that.
Round 3.
Again, not hating in it or anything. That's just how it is.
We understand. Okay, let's move on to
2A. All right, this Toombs County.
Yeah,
I cannot disagree with you.
It's unanimous.
Yeah, because they came out of nowhere after beating Appleton County. What?
And then their defense is really solid. And that kind of leads into my second one, Pierce County. So one of the big issues I had with Pierce County was losing Bell in the offseason. And I think a lot of what like around that was me. I was talking to people in the offseason, and I didn't have Pierce County that high up. I still had them with the same exact record that they have right now because their schedule was pretty cut and dry. But I didn't think Pierce County would be, as good as years past because they relied so much on DJ Bell. And you know what? That point has yet to be proven. It's easy to look at and dropping 47 on Metter, 49 on Liberty, 48 on Charlton. But any Pierce County team could do that. It's the games against Appling, it's the game against Toombs that truly show you if that offense has stepped up. And to as of now, I can't give you a definitive answer. 14 on Appling, 17 on Toombs. So I don't know. I don't know if this offense is fully independent of DJ yet.
Jeremy said that number 7 at Pierce runs just like DJ Bell.
I mean, I haven't watched Pierce's film yet, so maybe he does. But at the end of the day, if you're not putting out the same offensive output in terms of scoring as years past, you're going to realize that DJ Bell had a greater impact than just rush yards.
Let's see. Let me go back.
I'm hoping they can understand that.
Okay, let me go ahead and get this out of the way before we get too much further into D2. I'm just going to read Rodriguez's comment so that everybody will know what he's saying. He says, we got 2 D1 corners that are ready for the challenge, and our front line with the trench monster Juju Wynn is unblockable.
Which team?
That's out there, guys. Now y'all know.
Which team is that?
Green County.
That's Green County?
Yes. So
okay.
They just put that out just so you know.
Hey, you know what? Give him your best shot. I mean, Green is going to be the underdogs against Slive, so why not give him everything you got? You only have to compete with a 4-star Auburn commit at receiver. So I'm not saying it's not possible. I've definitely seen people who are like players who are overrated per se, but there's nothing that's proven Jalewis Solomon is overrated yet. So I'm going to stick on the side that it's going to be hard to match up with that talent. The other aspect of this is I don't know what offense Green County runs. If they run the option, good luck. Sly County has Zayden Walker up front, and he might just be a little bit of a challenge to block, but just the thought.
Man. Is that your time to talk right now? Sound like a robot? Man, hey, I think the alphabet boys tapping your phone again.
Oh, okay. I didn't know Dro was on here. Hey, Dro.
Yeah. Hold on, let me see. Dro, you closed it. Oh, he got off. He jumped off too.
Okay, so
Dro came on. Sound like he had his windows open.
Okay, so Barry says that nobody has scored over 17 points on Pierce County.
I wouldn't even make that I wouldn't make that statement based on your schedule.
I mean, I like technically that is a fact. Like the fact is nobody has scored over 17. But the fact is also that this team is not undefeated, which means that teams can beat Pierce without scoring more than 17 points on them.
I mean, you can go that way with it. I'm looking at the resume. The resume doesn't move the needle.
Yeah, there's 2 good games on the schedule. There's the Appling County game, the Toombs County game, and everything else is pretty much useless to ranking, or not to ranking, to determining how good this team is.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. Okay. All right. Now, for your largest fallers, Elka, I think we all saw they coming last year.
Yeah, that was their last chance. I made it really clear that last year was their only and last chance to revive the dynasty, and well, they failed. So now they're quite literally one of the worst teams in terms of falling into it.
Yeah.
Can you all explain to me why such a huge fall off?
No having Jonathan Guess as head coach anymore, who won him 5 titles in a row, and having a giant graduation of talent, especially on the offensive line.
Aha.
Yeah.
Okay. What's going on, Keith Peoples, Taylor County checking in? Welcome.
Who we got here? Yo's back. All right, we got Yo back. Let's see if we can get Dro back. All right, 3A. Largest surprises. Man, I know this is your list. To me, it's Mary Persons. at the end of the day.
Oh, you
Because
think Mary Persons is the biggest surprise?
nobody saw this coming from Mary Persons.
I mean, okay, when you have Duke Watson at running back, I think anything was possible. Like with that, and was he a junior? So this is senior year, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't too shocked that. I mean, yeah, 7-1 is really impressive, but I wasn't too shocked. I mean, the minute they beat Northeast, it looks like exactly what they did last year. So the only changes here is they didn't lose to Jackson, which is a game they shouldn't have lost in the first place last year. Peach County is bad this year, and they beat that bad Peach County team whom they lost to last year. The other surprise was they beat Trinity Christian, which they lost to by 11 last year. So this team, like, if you look at this team qualitatively compared to last year versus this year, they look much better in record, but in terms of quality, I think they are just a little bit better, not amazingly better.
They beat PAC.
They did beat PAC. I forgot to touch on that. Yeah. The way
45-28.
The reason they beat PAC is because PAC could not stop the run. They graduated a lot on that front seven last year, and no team had a good enough rush offense to even challenge PAC. Because the thing with PAX is, or PAC, I call them PAX, the difference with them is they will jump out to a 21-0 lead on you, and then you are forced to pass the ball. However, when PAC gets put into the position of, dang, we can't stop this running back, they get flustered. But no team has been able to rush that well or has as good of a running back as Mary Persons does. So I think that was more of a stylistic mismatch than it was, one team that is insanely better than the other.
Yeah. I guess my biggest thing is with Lumpkin County is when you look at that Region 7, it's nothing glamorous about it. It's boring. It's a boring region. So whoever comes out of there comes out of there. That's how a lot of us look at it. And I'm sorry, not Region 7. I'm talking about Lumpkin County. Yeah, Lumpkin County. Now, with Region 8, Stevens County, normally year in, year out, we've been saying Oconee, Hebron Christian, Monroe area, and Hart County, Stevens County, they'll fight it out for that sport, for that fourth spot. But the usual suspects are down this year. Stevens County is taking advantage of it.
Yeah, and I think on top of that, I think they're just playing great football. I mean, you look at some of these results. Yeah, I mean, Monroe area is having a down year and all, but this team is good. They're winning all their games by at least 30. The one bad result you could even say was winning against Habersham Central by 2. But I think what kickstarted was that Raven County game. The minute they found momentum, that Raven County game, they found something that clicked. And once they found something that clicked, they rode with it. And this is, there's some years you can be like, I don't know, maybe something didn't click. This is one of those where you can just tell something clicked. You go to that Raven County game, you win 35-0. At that point, they know what's working, and they know nobody else can stop it. And they've been playing with that mindset for this entire season. That's the reason they haven't been upset yet, is because they play with a level of confidence that is unmatched in 3A right now.
Oscar says Morgan County or Lumpkin is a surprise to him. Welcome, Oscar. Hello, Mr. Robert. How you doing today? Welcome, Terrence Doe. Welcome back. Glad you came back.
Morgan County.
Well, I think with Morgan County, the reason they're actually the reason I'm a little impressed is, first of all, you lose to Greene County, which is, in my opinion, a bad loss. But they do beat both Hebron and Monroe area, which are good wins. For a team to be ranked, for a team that ends up ranked in the top 10, those are wins that a top 10 team will have. And it's easy to just say, well, look at their region. It's terrible. Yeah, but they do have these 2 key non-region wins, which boosts their resume a lot. I don't know why it took, 9 weeks or whatever, or 7 weeks before the AJC decided to rank them. I don't know why. But this is a team that's been stuck in my rankings for a little bit now. Now, granted, they're not moving up anytime soon because their region sucks. But being in the top 10 itself is an honor.
For sure. Largest fallers. I think we all can agree with number one. No one really expected the results to be the way they are this year for Peach County. Doherty, we all feel Doherty runs as Cam Davis runs.
Yep, and he's out, and there goes the team.
Oconee County, we know they lost a lot.
They lost to Hart County. That's bad.
Well, it's not even that. It's just what they lost production wise.
especially on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, because I know when we was running through doing our assessments during the preseason, they lost like 94% of their production on defense. So we didn't expect much out of a Coney. It was just a matter of what they have coming in to help them maintain their status and maintain their dominance in that region. But yeah, I totally agree with you on that. Carver Atlanta, knowing that they lost their quarterback, the two running backs, which
Yeah, they did show some promise early on in the year. Beating LaGrange, now that result looks surprising. Every single day this keeps going on. I don't know how Carver beat LaGrange because LaGrange is a good team now, like a very good team. But besides that, Carver's done absolutely nothing. I think
yeah,
they held it close with Calhoun for a little bit, and then the dam broke, and then everything fell apart from there.
pretty much,
They lost to
pretty much.
Douglas, man.
Yeah, I know, right? And then Thomasville, you know, a lot of us didn't. Well, I'm gonna put it like this: we thought highly of Thomasville in the
Mm-hmm.
preseason. Um, Based on their now, I will say this for me, based on their schedule and what we know from behind the scene conversations, some of this end result is now and was expected. But losing to Thomas County Central, you can't fault them on that. County
Nope.
Road, Bainbridge, can't fault them on that.
I do fault them for the Cairo loss.
Yeah,
You
you would
You got to
think
put up
they,
more than
yeah,
3 points on Cairo. You got to beat Cairo.
yeah, you think they would beat Cairo.
Of all the teams, I mean, come on.
Yeah. Okay, I get y'all that one.
Without that loss, they're probably still at like 6 or 7 right now. Because look at their other losses. TC Central can't blame them. Bainbridge can't blame them. Carver Columbus sits at 6 right now. So it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to see Thomasville at 7 or still at 6. But it's that Cairo loss right now. Cairo is still a top 10 team, but like Cairo is not a top 10 team if they don't have that Thomasville win.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
What's going on, Mr. Watkins? Welcome.
All right. Let's 4A. What time is it? Yeah, 4A. Drew, how much time you got on your hands? How much time you got left? If we need to move faster, okay, because I would say we can move faster if you want to. 4A, Central Care came out of nowhere in my mind. I'm with you on that one.
Yep, same here. There's nothing much to say about that. They really just came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Byrd County and Spalding, they're both playing good ball right now. So again, surprise. Fallers. We kind of felt Cedartown was going to fall because they lost a lot of production from last year.
Yeah, so I think I definitely did not rank them in my top 2 because they weren't top 2 material. But you also can be very hard on them and say, hey, just because they lost a ton last year, let me just leave them unranked. You got to give them a little bit of credit. Well,
Sure.
that is until you prove that you don't deserve that credit. And that's when they drop from 4 to unranked.
Yeah, because I know we brought Cedartown. We started Cedartown off at number 9 on our FNL poll. Just like Burt County, we started Burt County off at number 8 for us, and we started Holy Innocents out at number 6.
Okay.
And we had LaGrange on the bubble, and I'm trying to see. Oh, we actually had Wayne County at 5. We started Wayne County off at 5.
Okay. So I was a little hesitant on Wayne. I mean, I knew they had a great rushing attack. I was a little hesitant about their offensive production. Now that did get better this year, but their defense also took a step back, so kind of evened out. So they're sitting at like 11th or 12th right now.
Yeah, but we still feel 4A is one of the most exciting classes still going on right now. Can't wait to see how this playoff bracket is gonna unfold come the next 2 weeks. All right, 5A.
And real quick before we go on to 5, I know Drew's pressed for time, but me personally, I think that Spalding Perry game this Friday is going to shape up a lot of that bracket, only because that Region 2, 1 or 2 team facing a Wayne County or a New Hampstead is going to kind of tell where they go from there in the brackets. Like, you look at the brackets and you can kind of pick a winner and a loser out of that Region 2 team 1 and 2. You can see some upsets happening. Like, I think Perry match up better against New Hampstead than Spalding does.
I
thing.
agree. That's a great observation. I think
Yes.
another thing to note is this game is actually Spalding's to lose. It's hard to say because Spalding is a lesser ranked team, but Perry doesn't have their quarterback right now. He has a hand injury. He had to get pins and whatever in his hand, so he won't be back until probably playoffs. So if you're Spalding right now, you've got to be chomping at the bit. This is your chance to get an easier first round matchup. Everything's on the line here. So Spalding's got to go out and win this game.
Yeah. Ken says, I want to see where Burke is next year and the year after. Their coach has a history at other jobs to be very good his first year, and then the success tapers off quickly.
Oh yeah, Franklin Stevens. Well, I think we all remember him from the McEachern era. Started off strong, tapered off. Ware County started off really strong, tapered off. So he did win 2 titles at Tucker, but once he left that, nothing's been the same.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, Drew.
Mm-hmm.
When do you think? At which round in the playoffs do you think Perry will get their quarterback?
Ooh, if I had to guess, I would say conservative guess would be second round. Like I think the earliest he comes back is start of playoffs. I think latest he comes back quarterfinals, semis. I don't know that for sure. I don't run in Perry's circles, so I don't keep up with that much.
I don't either. I don't
Yeah,
either.
because man, when I heard about the nature of the injury, whatever, I was like, man, he may be back somewhere around the quarterfinals. You know what I mean? But I'm not a doctor or anything.
Yeah, I'm not a
Hopefully he
doctor either. I just study medicine.
right. Yeah, I got you. But hopefully he can make a speedy recovery because maybe we can see where Perry. I just wanted to know what you thought about that.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm always pulling for a guy to come back, and I think Perry's offense revolves so much. I mean, we even looked at it last year with Armar Gordon Jr. This offense revolves a good bit around the passing game. You have Dakara Anderson out wide as well, so it would be in their best interest to get Coulter getting back out there.
Patrick says Spalding is not going to win. Perry is going to win by 14 and win the region.
Yeah, the only way that happens is if Perry gets off to a fast start, because we saw last game without them, first game without Coulter, I think maybe second game, I don't know. But Perry started off really slow, and then they picked it up near the end. But against Spalding, that's not going to work. You're going to have to start fast. Start fast, get a couple scores on the board, and then if you need to, you rely on your defense. But if they don't start fast, and if the Spalding gets out to a 2-score lead, that game might be over.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a case where the talent in Griffin has shifted more to Spalding County, more so than Griffin High?
I wouldn't go. I guess, but I wouldn't go that far. I am not ready to distinguish this from a wave, because we've seen a lot of schools where there's just a wave of good talent that comes in at one time, and then that wave also just leaves. So I'm not sold yet on the fact that this is a recurring theme that Spalding will be great for the next 6-7 years. I don't know yet if this is just, like I said, like a talent wave where there's like two classes that are really good. And then after that, it just dies off again. So I don't know yet.
Well, a lot of that, Drew, on what he's saying is true, because a lot of the kids in the inner city school of Griffin has went out to the county, and I'm seeing that a lot. Like we're hearing that around the state, where there's a lot of city schools where these kids are going to the county to play. Mm-hmm. I do know that that's kind of the situation that's going on at Spalding with Griffin right now. A lot of the kids that would have been at Griffin or maybe started out in Griffin zones have found their way to play for the county right now.
Yeah, I think city schools are, people, we talk about these, these multipliers, the 3.0 multipliers for private schools. It's not the private schools, it's the city schools.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's you're taxing the private schools kind of. You're kind of taxing the private schools or punishing them per se. But it's not them. We're not California, we don't have a Mater Dei or a St. John Bosco. We aren't dominated by privates. Private schools just exist. Yeah. They're not, they might do recruiting, but no more so than every other public school. I think city schools have the most leeway here. A school like Buford doesn't have to go through any certain guidelines. and they won't get punished for anything because they're a city school. They're not classified as private. So I think there needs to be stricter regulation on city schools rather than private schools.
Can you repeat that, Drew?
I think there needs to be stricter regulations on city schools rather than private schools.
Don't put your foot in your mouth. That's all I'm gonna say on that one. Peace County. No. I'm talking to Peace County. Messing around, put your foot in your mouth on that one.
Whatever, Cedar Grove.
Yeah, man, you just mad because of what Drew just said, man. Come on, bro.
I ain't mad about it. Hey, the city schools, city public schools are at an advantage than a rural area school. It is what it is.
It is, but also like city schools at a smaller level are also going to benefit the same way.
T Mac, welcome T Mac. He says Ware versus Coffee next week in the Swamp for the region championship. That will be a great game. I do believe.
It's gonna tell us a lot. I think I've had Coffee fans chirping in my ear for about 4 or 5 weeks, maybe even 6 now, about how Coffee deserves to be the number 1 team. Well, this will determine who's the number 1 team.
Yes. Terrence, you say what are we wrong about, Terrence? Elaborate a little bit, okay? Jeremy says House Bill 5250. Okay, let's go on to 5A's largest risers.
2 from the same region. How about that?
Yeah. You got to flip a coin on them because they both sit with the same overall record. It's just that region record that's separating them right now.
I think when it comes to surprises, I think Dalton's much more of a surprise than Hiram. Hiram is loaded with talent. Hiram should have been a top 6 team last year, and they weren't. So this is like if they weren't a top 10 team this year, I would genuinely say something is wrong with that school. But they are now top 10. Dalton, on the other hand, my God, that's a surprise because I felt their best chance was the past 2 years when they had this guy named Tyson Greenwade at running back. He was the next Jahmyr Gibbs with how much he was rushing for. He put up like 2,300 yards per year. So he was very, very good at running the ball. But the minute he graduates, they actually end up ranked? How does this happen? So I don't understand.
Coffee 6-3, and I know we brought him in. I know we brought him in the preseason at number 3 for us when we did our preseason poll.
Yeah, they're good. The one thing with Coffee is I definitely thought they had potential to be a top 2 team, but considering how the past few seasons have gone, felt safer to leave them at 6 and then move them up if necessary, rather than keep them high and then overrate them and move them down if they were bad.
Yeah. All right, largest followers. I think we all can agree with that Warner Robins, but at the same time, though, we did kind of expect it.
Yeah, not that much though.
Well, two things that we harped on during the preseason was the loss of your coach and coaching staff, and then number 2, how do you replace? Vic Burley. How do you replace that production? Or that presence, shall I say. And those are 2 biggest questions we have for Warner Robins.
Yeah, and they kind of haven't improved.
Yeah. They've regressed, if you ask me.
They have. But I think, again, with Shane Sams as head coach, if you're an alumni head coach, you don't let a program go down that easily. I think you've got to have faith. It's Warner Robins. Give it a year. Wait till Houston County dips after losing Ricky Johnson and Antoine Hill and all that. And then Warner Robins starts to get their stuff back together again. Give it a year, give it or 2. People can get their licks in on Warner Robins right now. But if Warner Robins comes back, they're going to make people pay.
Yeah. Scott says Hiram has been a doormat for a while. Dawson has had some good teams in the past.
Very true. The only difference is, would you expect a Dalton team to be ranked in the top 10 when they have a 2,000-yard rusher or when they don't? So it's just unexpected.
Good point. Go Warner Robins D. Mr. Robert says. Okay.
Now, Dutchtown, actually having put eyes on Dutchtown twice this year. But they really let you down.
It's because they revolve so much around a sophomore QB.
Yeah.
Or a freshman QB. The minute he comes out of the game, the offense looks lost. They just look stagnant. But the minute he comes in, he does some Lamar Jackson type stuff, and everything's all right again. This is the perfect example of the team that when you start to watch games at first, you see your favorite team trail in the first half and then come back in the second half and win. You're like, oh wow, we're such a great team. This is where that catches up to you, because after a while, teams are going to keep falling for that. That is exactly what's happened to Dutchtown. They had the strategy of, it's okay, let's play one half of football and we'll make it really good. That's the second half. Then they realized that doesn't work, and it hasn't been working.
Whereas Warner Robins would start off very, very slow.
Yeah, and never catch up.
Yeah. Kelvin Byram says Warner Robins fell off, but they are playing for a region championship this Friday against Jones County.
Can I say one thing on that? Let me say one thing on that. The key word in that statement is region.
Yeah, look at that region.
That's the key statement. Is region, because when you look at it, yeah, they should be.
Ola put up a fight this year. I will say that, but Warner Robins won by 1. So,
and let's be real.
Is this finally going to be the year that Jones County wins?
I think so, because Warner Robins at this time don't normally be playing for a region champion. They pretty much got the region championship already sold up.
Yeah.
And y'all think of what else they're playing for. It's a lot of underlying things going on with that Jones County Warner Robins game. If your
with the quarterback transfer.
Oh yeah, with Judd Anderson now at Warner Robins. Yeah. I think Jones County comes in pissed off.
Mm-hmm. They do.
And the other thing with that Jones County team is, I don't know. I've always felt that Jones County team got held back a little bit. I think their offensive play calling sometimes is just frustrating. You have a quarterback who's a 4-star committed to Miami, and you have a receiver who's a 4-star committed to wherever the heck he committed. And he's a speed demon, and you make him run screens the entire game? Come on.
Yeah.
Use his abilities. Make him run Tyreek Hill type routes. You will torch teams on defense. I don't know why if their play calling was better, Jones County would be in this year especially would be a state championship type caliber team if they had just had better offensive play calling. So do I blame the QB for transferring? No, he's had to deal with this for 3 years now. But I don't think he should have transferred because, you don't leave your team halfway through a season.
Yeah. Corey says Perry is going to eat Friday. Welcome to the podcast, Corey. Kelvin says Warner Robins always hits their stride late in the season.
Correct. When they had Marquise Westbrook. Keep it.
Jeremy says, is there a chance Coffee will win the state championship this year?
Yes, 5A is not good.
Yeah. Marquise says that game might get chippy, the Warner Robins Jones kind of game. I do agree.
And it should be chippy.
And then Ken says Oklahoma. I guess that's where the young man
Zion committed. He did commit to Oklahoma. I remember that now.
What's going on, Heather Knight Rodriguez?
6A.
There you go, TC Central.
I'm sitting up here debating between Douglas County and TC. I think it might, to me. Well, you know what? I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna ride with you on your rankings of the biggest risers because a lot of folks didn't understand how Douglas County got to this point.
Mm-hmm.
Got to where they are right now. A lot of folks don't know. So I'm gonna ride with you on that. I know with TCC it was questions with them coming into the season because we had questions too, just like everybody else did. So yeah, it is a shock to see them where they're at.
Go ahead.
So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna let you go ahead and go in. I'm gonna let you go in on your theory behind this one.
And while he goes in, go ahead and block those bots, please.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, Douglas County. So the theme with Douglas County was young talent. I mean, this is, if you actually look at them, they have a lot of talent, but it's all young. So they're growing. This is a team that's going to keep getting better over the years. I was just waiting to see whether I think I didn't know personally if that freshman and sophomore talent would already be good enough to compete with the rest of the state now. So I start them off unranked. But they've already proven that they're coming to play. So Douglas County rose pretty quickly. However, just because they beat Langston Hughes does not make them a top 2 team in the state. They are not a top 2 team in the state right now. They had an upset win, big difference. Remember, they still only beat 4A Stockbridge team by 7. Okay, so we need to pump the brakes on. That's why they're sitting at 6 right now. But TC Central, now that's a different story. They came in with Sam Brown at QB last year. And I thought after that year ended, now a lot of people say we're arguing that TC should have been ranked number 1 in the state last year. Now that's just wrong. With Langston Hughes, if you're going to tell me that TC Central was better than a Langston Hughes team last year, frankly, you're just crazy. So coming into this year, I was a little skeptical because you lose Samuel Brown and you don't know who you have to replace. But a lot of what stepped up on this side is defense. So, something that was a point of concern last year, honestly, against, teams like Veterans, Hoco, and Lee County, especially Roswell too. That defense has stepped into a much larger role, making it easier for the offense, which I believe has less talent than last year, to still win games. And so that's why they're able to win a game against Houston County 27-0 instead of losing that game 28-27. So TC Central is a very good team. The reason why they're number 1 right now is I don't think any other team in 6A has a better resume or has been playing better than them. Now, that could change. We have the game of the year between Lee County and Thomas County Central this Friday night. So anything could change. But if you look right now and you say who is the most complete team, the team that's been playing the best this year, it's TC Central. And that's something I didn't expect.
Yeah, because I know one of our things was for them coming into the season was for the defense to produce more than what they did last year to help the offense. And they've done that. The defense stepped up major this year, and that's one of the key things to their success is that defense stepping up. Because we had questions about the quarterback stepping in. He didn't have much production last year coming in to replace Brown, and then trying to figure out if Trey Brenton was going to set higher goals. Was he trying to go for 1,500 yards this year to help take the pressure off that quarterback? Those are the type of questions that we had on TCC coming into the season.
TCC
I'm not impressed.
State championship caliber team right now.
I'm not impressed.
I'm gonna explain this. No, I'm gonna explain this to you, Drew.
Okay.
No, there's no feelings in it, Drew. So here's our thing. Here's the flip side of TCC. We look at TCC's resume. All right. The thing that bothers us the most, and when I say us, I know me and Yo for a fact. We've talked about this. Thomasville, Brooks County.
Yeah, lower.
Bainbridge.
These are ranked teams, but they're lower class ranked teams. They tell you absolutely nothing.
However, go ahead.
However, I will counter this on one aspect. What we look at a team like Thomasville, who plays a team like Bainbridge, right? And Thomasville loses 46-28 to Bainbridge. So to Bainbridge, that looks like an okay win. But the way Thomas County, the one thing I always say for people who say, why are we not ranked? We're undefeated right now. And if I say strength of schedule, and they're like, we can't control who we play.
Thank you.
Thank you. However, what you can do is beat the living daylights out of that team.
And they did that.
And they've been doing it, excelling on both sides of the ball. So like a game, for me, might be the hottest take of all so far. For me, the most impressive result of this season was Thomas County Central beating Bainbridge 45-14. That is the single game that told me the most about this team.
Okay.
And that might stand people up a little and be like, whoa, wait a minute. They just beat Antoine Hill and Houston County. I get that. They scored 27 on Houston County. That's a good performance. They held them to 0, more importantly, which is amazing. But if you look into that Houston County offense, they do 2 things: RPO slants and throw the ball deep. That's it. It's annoying. It's just no team has the capability to stop it. Now they finally play a team with a capable secondary. But that Bainbridge game, Bainbridge is not a pushover. Because this Bainbridge team, they beat the defending state champions Ware County by 2 scores. They beat Thomasville by 18. Now, they lost to Coffee by 9. But remember, Coffee is a top 3 team in 5A. TC Central just beat a top three team in 4A, Bainbridge, by 31. That is saying something for me. That is saying a lot. So I think Thomas County Central is legit. The one thing that can't happen is they can't let their foot off the gas, because right now, the way I see it, they are the most complete team in 6A. It is if they can beat, I'll say this, if they can beat Lee County this weekend, it is their title to lose.
Well, we're gonna get into this later on, but I think they will because in my mind, Lee County can't pressure their defense, i.e., by passing. They just don't have the passing game to stress that defense.
Well, Lee County's just gonna run the ball, right?
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I say. They're not gonna stress the defense.
TC Central could just sell out to stop the run.
Yeah, so I see TCC winning that game. But what I was gonna say was the other. Nothing to your argument, but our thing was, they're beating up on teams, i.e., their non-region schedule, on majority of teams that are down now. Whereas when those teams were beating up on them, TCC was down, so it was expected. So in our mind, you're doing what you're supposed to do against these down teams this year, because Brooks County is not the same Brooks County. Thomasville ain't the same.
I had that same mindset coming into the Houston County game. This for me, because remember, for me, TC Central was sitting at like third or something, and they were sixth for most of the year. My thing, I ranked them at third. I was conservative. People had them at first already. My thing was that Houston County game. That shows whether what we've seen so far was legit or not. And I picked TC Central to win the game by over a touchdown. So I figured that, you know what? I think TC Central is legit. And man, were they legit. Them beating Houston County the way they did proved to me that those wins over teams that are in their down years showed true dominance. That Houston County win proved to me that these guys are legit.
I disagree. And I'm just going to say that. I won't speak on it. I disagree.
You ought to be tired of being wrong.
You know what? We're gonna move.
Let me read these comments. Let me go back.
Okay, you do that because I need to go refresh my cup.
Oh Lord, it ain't gonna take that long. So Tick says the quarterback for Jones County has a lot to prove. He deserves to be the starter, but was forced to share time with the quarterback who transferred to Warner Robins.
I can understand that.
Scott says Douglas County is one of the biggest surprises in the state, in my opinion. With regard to the risers in 6A preseason, Ken says in Thomas County they weren't really surprised because they knew what they had. He also said the kid starting for TCC wasn't the backup quarterback last year. That kid is this year's starter's backup.
Interesting. Well,
okay.
Good that they run the ball more then.
Mm-hmm. Kenneth Hurst says TCC left 35 points on the field versus Hoko.
We're not getting into that. No way. Yeah. You can leave. You can just say, "Oh, we had 8 drives on offense. Therefore, if you only scored 20 points, we left 36 points out on the field there." Yeah, technically, assuming if you score every drive, you're not going to though. That's football.
Mm-hmm. So Linda, welcome, Miss Linda. She says, "Amen." Let's see. Welcome, Miss Heather, not Rodriguez. Tick says he disagrees with that also, Drew, with regard to Hoko TCC, but we're not going to get on that in this particular instance. So, I don't know where Mikey. Oh, you back?
No, I'm right. Yeah, I'm back. So I was gonna get on the largest fallers. I don't even know why Brunswick was ranked number 10 to begin with. So that's that. Woodward Academy, yes, it's a surprise. And Langston Hughes, 2 devastating losses.
Yeah, by the same score.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well, no. I'm gonna leave it at that because my observation of Langston Hughes is they still have a good quarterback, they have a good running game. They just had to build those receivers up.
Yeah. I mean, not TC, sorry. Langston Hughes works more off like speed at their receivers. They like to just run by everybody. I mean, they have a big tight end, but like, all their receivers last year just ran past the entire secondary. That's why, and they have a QB with an arm, so nobody could stop that. Now you don't have that anymore, so you got to adjust. You got to use more of the rush attack, and that's what they're doing. But the defense is not able to keep up with that.
So do we not have any surprises for 7A?
Oh, we do.
I just had to refresh the screen.
Oh, okay. I'm
So
sorry.
yeah, so risers. Newton, I agree. Mill Creek, I think we saw comment, and Westlake, we did not really expect for them to be that productive this year, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
Because
Mill Creek's
let me
very
see.
impressive.
Yeah, because we had Mill Creek number 3 in our preseason poll.
That's bold.
And, well,
it worked out, but it's bold
yeah.
because you look at this team that loses their starting quarterback, their starting safety, their starting receiver. Like, to me, it was like almost looked like a Collins Hill type team, but I thought they'd be better than like how Collins Hill fell off. So I still ranked them in the top 10. So I gave them a little bit of leeway there. But they have shown that they're more than a talented team. They're more of a well-coached team. They learned a lot from that. A lot of teams, when they win the state championship, they think, well, the job's over. Time to go home. No. You can still learn from there. And that's what Mill Creek has been doing. Trajan Greco Trajan Greco and Jaden Patterson have been a revelation on defense. And Trajan, even on offense, man, I hope he stays committed to Georgia Tech. He had 7 catches against Buford for like 140 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I'm excited for him to come to the flats. But for Mill Creek, they've been working this ball well. But one of my concerns was their passing attack. Because I figured that they would run the ball with Cam Robinson so much that their passing game with a QB who I felt was less talented than Hayden Clark, who graduated already, I thought they would have trouble passing the ball. But what they've done instead is just give him really high percentage throw to his playmakers. And they did that against Buford. They took advantage of the short pass. And Shane Throgmartin played his butt off in that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Newton, didn't see them come in. We actually started Westlake off at number 7. I think the biggest question for us was quarterback play for them because we knew they lost that quarterback from last year.
Oh, they lost a lot.
Yeah. 7A fallers. Milton. Yeah, it is what it is on now. Yeah. Parkview. I don't think a lot of people was expecting a lot from Parkview. We had them at 8 with that running attack that they have. We thought it was going.
The reason for Parkview hype, there's a lot of people that had Parkview in their top 3, which is blasphemy. But I had them at 6. Reason is because they had so much talent. It's like if you ever watch college football and then you see University of Miami, the Hurricanes, every single year they will enter with some of the best talent in the nation. And then every single year, somebody will have them ranked in the top 15 just for them to lose to a team like Georgia Tech and go unranked. It happens every single year. Parkview, I was hoping they wouldn't be the same type of deal, but they kind of ended up as such. They have so much talent. In terms of stars, they have 3 starred players on their O-line, 3 starred players at running back, or 2 starred players at running back, a starred QB, their entire secondary. Like, this is a very talented team. But the thing is, if they could just put this together, they would easily be running 7A, but they're not.
Yeah. I was gonna wrap up 7A fallers real fast. I know with Valdosta, we had them on the bubble going into the preseason, and Grayson we had it sitting at 10 with them because we So that's how we did that for our preseason ranking. So
close enough.
Yeah. Cool.
Jamie says that I'm going to be honest. Valdosta is way better than I thought this year.
They're the way I'll say it is they are good. They've improved from last year on the offensive side of the ball, which is extremely important. So I think you're right. They have improved. They're not way better though. They're still a borderline top 10 team. They entered the season at like 10, I think, for me. And now they're sitting at like 13 or 14. So it's not that bad of a drop. The thing is, they need to do good against teams like McEachern. You can't lose to McEachern. You just can't. I get it. It's far from home and all that, but you can't lose 28-3. So they've got it. They've seemed to be able to handle every team south of Macon. They can handle with ease. The minute they get north of Macon, everything falls apart. And I don't understand why that happens.
Scott said that loss in Ohio kills me though.
The thing is, the more you look at it, that's a great loss. I mean, sometimes loss is a loss. But Massillon, like Washington, that's a good team. That team ended. There was one point where that team was a top 25 team in the nation. So that's a really good loss for Valdosta. But
Yeah,
the minute you get north of Macon, this team can't win games because I don't know how you can beat a team like Warner Robins that bad, beat Lowndes, beat Camden, but you play a subpar McEachern team and lose by 21. I don't understand why that happened. The same thing last year. The one team they played north of Macon was Westlake, and they lost. So
Yeah.
I don't understand why they just can't do that.
Jamie agrees with you, Drew. He said that ended up being he said great win, but he was talking to Scott with regard to the loss in Ohio. And he said he only had Valdosta winning 5 games this year. So
Oh no, definitely not.
So there's that. So, that was great, Drew.
Yep, got you guys.
Drew, you gonna stick around and hang out and talk? You got time to hang out and talk with our buddy the Wizard?
Sure, we'll give it a few.
Okay,
Give it a few.
Wizard, welcome. Are you in a better mood today?
I think so.
Okay, so now that you're in a better mood, we're going to ask that your theme music be played. Okay.
Thank
you. Okay, play his theme music, someone. Thank you.
It's Wednesday. And you know what that means. It's time for the Wizard's Corner. And let's see what he has in store for everyone this weekend. Will you beat the Wizard?
Every time.
Thank y'all. My boo like hearing herself.
We aim to please. We aim to please.
So we're gonna get down to business. As of today, I only have one team in the top 10 lose, and that is Aquinas losing to Green County. I do expect Early County and Irwin County to be close, but Early County pulls it out.
Okay.
Any comments from the peanut gallery?
I don't see anything other than not in the comments, but Marquis says great job, Drew.
Thank you. I was looking at these these picks. I like him. The Greene County Aquinas one, I could see it being a little bit less scoring. Like I could see because Aquinas' defense is actually decent. So I could see Greene County maybe topping off at 27, but that's not that much different anyway. Mm-hmm. Jenkins County ECI, I like the score difference because ECI could upset. Telfair Dooley, that's an interesting game. I think the reason that's interesting is Dooley's kind of had a tough schedule so far. And Telfair's looked a little bit rocky, just a little bit. This is a team that only beat Wheeler County by 4 last week and Wilcox by 14 the week before. And Dooley's done similar things. Now, this game is at home for Dooley, so could I see an upset? Yes, I definitely could. But would I pick Dooley right now? No. So I would make the score just a little bit closer, but with the way football happens nowadays, anything can happen.
Yeah, I like you. Okay. D1. The only team I see lose in the top 10 is Raven County. And they will lose to Columbus. Other than that, everybody else in the top 10 handles business this week.
I like the fact that Savannah has 0 points. They're not scoring. Besides that, Swainsboro Bleckley, that's a good score. It's going to be a lower scoring game. Swainsboro's defense, I don't know if this is the same Swainsboro team as last year. They've looked a little rocky at times. So with the way Bleckley has been playing up and down, you never know. But I will still safely pick Swainsboro. But if Bleckley County upsets, I'm just gonna say that it's very much possible. With Commerce and Rabun, I think that's a tough one. So the thing with Commerce is they're a good team, don't get me wrong, but we need to not be starstruck. By what I mean by that is they beat Elbert by 28. They beat the living daylights of a ranked Elbert team. But beside that, this team has lost by 10 to Hebron, beat Lincoln County by 7, beat a non-GHSA First Presbyterian Day School by 14, beat Southside Christian by 2. So I think they might have just played their best game of the year against Elbert. But will I still pick them over Rabun? I'd still probably pick them over Rabun. But it could be if Rabun wins, don't be surprised at all because Commerce really did play their best game of the year against Elbert.
It's only a win by one possession. So
yeah,
they can still swing either way.
Christopher Sloan says, Drew, you are underestimating Cairo.
Cairo's a good team. I mean, they're not bad or anything. They're still 8-1, but I don't know. Besides the one win over Thomasville, what else do we have to see on that schedule? So, like, what am I supposed to tell from a win over Salem or Shaw or Hardaway or Westover? So, the game against Bainbridge will tell me something. I can't wait for that.
Okay.
Where is Glen Hills?
In Glen Hill.
Okay,
but my game of the week is Fitzgerald versus Cook, and I'm giving it to Cook.
Ooh,
it's in Augusta. Thank you, Kelvin. Let's see. Scott says Bleckley has the talent to make a deep run. Dwayne says Brooks should be in the top 10. Oh, little red Corvette. Okay. And guys are telling me that Glen Hills is in Augusta. Thank you guys. I appreciate that.
Yeah, Cook. We all heard about what happened to Cook this past week. So that would be interesting if they beat Fitzgerald. I think right now Fitzgerald's not playing their best football, so Cook can definitely capitalize on it. Depends on how they take it. If they take that situation, what happened, and they get down about it, they're going to lose. But if they take it and use it as motivation or fuel to, like, you know what, everybody's still doubting us, they're going to beat Fitzgerald.
Okay. Can they still make the playoffs if they win their last 2 games?
With some help.
I'll have to check that.
With a lot of help.
Okay. They are going to need help because it's not exactly a small region per se.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to have to win their last 2 games and get some help.
But does one player make that much of a difference? Is my question.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But GHSA rules.
Okay. 3A. Yeah. Everybody in the top 10 wins. Handle business.
Ooh, that Mary Persons Upson Lee game is going to be such a good game.
I agree.
There is, of course, upset potential for Upson Lee. Definitely upset potential, especially with it being on the road. But I think Mary Persons' rush game prevails. So, or, I have time to think about it until tomorrow morning. So,
let's see. Dwayne says Brooks only allowed 12 points in 1A this year. Okay.
How many 1A teams have they played this year?
2.
Okay, answered. Makes sense now, does it? You play Thomasville, who's not. Wayne, who's not. You play Mitchell County, who is that a 1A school? Let's see.
I think
no, that's a 1AD2 school, which is still a 1A school, and they allowed 14. Played TC Central, lost. Bainbridge, lost. Lost to Cook. And then Early and Irwin, 2 1A D1 schools. Allowed 6. Okay. So 2 games. Congratulations.
Jamie says, I thought they were kicked from the playoffs. They only forfeited their games, Jamie. They weren't kicked out of the playoffs. Not technically, but their chances are slim to none. Tick says a disciplined front seven beats Fitzgerald all day.
Easier said than done, but it can happen.
Yeah. Scott says if you aren't a fan of Cook or Fitzgerald and plan to go to the game, keep your head on a swivel. Tensions will be high at that game. I certainly agree with that, Scott. I pray for everyone's safety on and off the field because people are foolish. Okay. 4A.
In 4A, I have Perry beating Spalding. Everybody else in the top 10 wins.
Makes sense. Perry Spalding is going to be a great game. Perry doesn't have their starting QB. We talked about this. We touched on it earlier in the show. And I think if there's ever a time for Spalding to win, it'd be now. But I think Perry could pull one out at the end. Very much possible.
I think Perry is balanced enough on offense.
Yeah, I think they can figure it out.
Yeah, they have a great running game. I know the quarterback is good, but I think the one that they have backing up can hold it in the road. However, they're on the road without their quarterback. It's a toss up if you ask me, but it's going to be an excellent game. It
and
really will.
We can't say Perry has been non-upsettable in region games too. If you look at 2021, they lost to Spalding. So
yeah, and then they lose. Well, Wayne County's not in their region, but yeah, they've been upset before. You're right.
And Wayne County beat Perry last year, held them to 7.
Yeah.
New Hampstead loses big to Burke County. I'm just saying.
No, that's probably true. New Hampstead's defense is a liability sometimes.
Okay. 5. The only top 10 team I have losing is Warner Robins.
Ooh, yeah. Interesting. Jones County gets their revenge, finally. Cartersville Dalton. I like that score. That's a good score. Just because Cartersville offense can be inept at times, and but their defense is good enough to hold. So, I like it.
Can I ask you a quick question, Drew?
Yeah.
Outside of Creekside losing to California, I haven't really heard much about them this year.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy because for a team that highly ranked, they have not been in any conversation at all. And they've just been quietly taking care of business. They had a win over a New Jersey team, St. Peter's Prep, historically good this year, not that good. And their region is mostly forgettable with teams like Lithia Springs, Chapel Hill, Mays, Maynard, Philarica, Banneker, Tri-City. So it's a forgettable region. So they haven't played in any noteworthy games. Compare that to last year, they played Rome, they played Dutch Fork from South Carolina, the number 1 team, East St. Louis, who they upset. So there was, stir about them. This year, not so much. They're sitting at 1 right now in my rankings. But the thing is, with the result of that Ware County Coffee game or even something this week, that can all change. The battle for number 1 is wide open. Or number 1 spot's wide open in 5A for me.
Okay.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. 6A. I have Lee County losing to Thomas County Central.
I'm not going to give anything away on that because that is my game of the week. So I will look more into it and see who my winner is because I go into very in-depth for that. That's why my game of the week record is like 6-2 or something right now.
Okay.
So we will wait on that.
I'm over 80. I'm over 80%.
Yeah, that's good.
So, Wizard, you think the score will? You think Thomas County Central will win by 2 touchdowns?
At least.
Okay. I don't disagree. I think, especially with them being at home, I think Thomas County Central wins it. I just would have anticipated probably being a little closer. I don't know though. Again, I am not a prognosticator, so.
Well, stick to the 14-point margin. Stick to that. Focus on the 14-point margin.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Not the score, but the margin of victory.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You think they're 2 touchdowns better than Lee County? I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought that, but I would have said that they would win. Gary Gaines, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thompson Bulldog in the house. Obadiah says it's going to be a good game. I do agree. All right,
And
7-8.
7-8. I expect everyone in 7-8 top 10 handle business.
Yeah, Colquitt Valdosta. Colquitt should take that game. They have no business not taking that game. But Valdosta is a good team. I like the 24 points for Valdosta and the 42 for Colquitt. Maybe like 37 or something, but 42 is close enough. So yeah, I like that. Norcross Peachtree Ridge. That's a game I kind of have circled because if Peachtree Ridge wins that game, there's an argument to be made that they should be a ranked team. So they already beat North Gwinnett, but that's not a ranked team. So they have 0 ranked wins so far. Can they beat Norcross, a team that almost lost to Archer? I don't know. This is going to be a good one. I could definitely see Norcross winning this game.
A quick question. What do you think about Colquitt's defense, Drew?
Not as good as previous years. It's a different type of issue for Colquitt this year. With their defense not being able to routinely close out teams. I mean, they're winning games, but when you give up 42 to Cedar Grove and 34 to Lowndes, you're giving teams an opportunity to stay in the game. You don't want to do that. And where does this? So this won't manifest now in the regular season. Where this hits is on the road in the playoffs. Because if you're a Colquitt fan, there's one thing you know is that since 2017, if it's a road playoff game, you're losing. It just happens. 2018 lost on the road in the second round to Parkview. Lost, frankly, before they should have in the playoffs. 2019, who did they even lose to in 2019? 2019 lost on the road, 19 was on the road at Parkview. 18 was at Mercedes-Benz against Milton. 2020 lost on the road at Norcross, which they were the better team, shouldn't have lost. 2021 lost at home to Walton, were the better team, shouldn't have lost. Last year, lost at home to Carrollton, where the better team shouldn't have lost. So this is a team that perennially gets upset in the playoffs. And the one way you can remedy that for future years is to have a really good defense, kind of like what TC Central is doing. I feel like the better defense you have, the less susceptible you are to an upset. In terms of whether it's better to have a great offense or a great defense, I would always go with the better defense because the better defense can rely on their fundamentals and prevent an upset. So Colquitt, I could see them getting upset again in the playoffs, unfortunately.
Gary says, who will challenge Thompson in the championship? Who says Thompson's going to the championship, Gary?
Well, guys, I'm going to say peace out and let you get back to your discussion.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Wizard. Remind everybody when to get the pick'ems in.
Have your pick'ems in by 6 p.m. on Friday.
Okay.
Now, I am going to be jumping on a broomstick with the Wicked Witch and flying south for the weekend. So, the pick'em results may not come out until Sunday. So bear with me. I gotta go watch my dog.
Well, take care and tell the Wicked Witch we said hello.
Okay.
But you know, Yo hadn't been saying anything. You might want to check and see if she's with her. You know. But okay, I'm being messy. Have a good night, Wizard. Okay, so let's see. Gary says, who will challenge Thompson in the championship? Who do you think?
Challenge Thompson? I'm sorry to say, but it's going to be what region is Pearson Appling in? I forgot. Region 3?
Yeah, I think it's Region 3.
Yeah, it's going to be a Region 3 championship.
Okay. And Tanzio says, I'm taking fabric softener to pull a rabbit out of his hat. Lee wins by 7.
Fabrizio. That's funny. That is funny.
That's funny. That's a good one.
Obadiah,
Hey, don't get mad if you hear that again on here. That's all I'm saying.
Jamie says, I feel like we're gonna have a great defense next year. He's from Colquitt, by the way. Obadiah says, I think Valdosta will score higher looking at what the Packers defense gave up last week. Kelvin says, Tick, if Lee has to throw, then it's going to be a long night for them.
Yeah, you can say that twice.
And I answer, the Wizards not on here. He just said he's flying south. He won't let Mike hang out by himself. He gotta go south too.
Yeah. No, we're going to the Georgia Florida game this weekend, so he heading down here in a few minutes. I'm heading down tomorrow, so
let's see. So that's that on that. So any other questions from the podcast crew or the podcast land?
I don't have any questions. I am thankful though that Drew allotted some time for us.
Yeah, no
Thank
problem.
you, Drew.
We
No problem.
always enjoy you, and you're always welcome. We appreciate you so much.
If you tune in this Friday and Saturday, I'm going to be doing a different type of day in the life. So it's like a different type, not football related, but it'll be pretty cool. It's homecoming at Georgia Tech this weekend, so you'll get like a behind the scenes look of what it takes to be like what it takes to run this account, what it takes to be a student, and all that. So I thought it'd be a cool change of pace. So if anybody is actually bored or wants to look at that, it'll be on this
I
Friday
would
and
definitely
Saturday.
check it out. Is it going to be on Instagram?
Yeah. I'll put it on my story and everything.
Okay, we'll check it out. Let's
Appreciate
see.
you, Drew.
Yeah, and Jamie says he wants to know about your brackets, but I think Drew's coming out with his brackets.
You will see my bracket predictions will release before the week after final week of games, before the first round of playoffs come out. So don't worry.
Okay. Well, thank you. And
Gotcha.
you know you are welcome here anytime. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Drew.
Yep. All right. Stepping out.
Have a good one.
Take care. Ken, thank you so much. That's very nice of you to say. He says I do a great job of making sense out of the crap we type. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Linda. She says awesome podcast. You know, Miss Linda, you got a special place in my heart. My mama's name was Linda, so I know you're a good lady. Marquise says, well, he's gone, but it's thank you, Drew. Great job once again. Really enjoyed your takes. That's true.
I don't understand. He replying to somebody.
Yeah, he's replying to somebody. Colquitt versus Valdosta is almost sold out. I believe you. Thank you, Heather, for listening. We couldn't do this if y'all weren't listening.
For sure.
Let's see. Kelvin says the only time he's seen Lee this season was against Hoko, and their defense is not what TCC has.
Kind of agree with you, but like I say, TCC does. I will say this about TCC defense because I thought about this today. They're doing something great on defense. They're basically doing a Bill Belichick on teams right now. They're doing their best to take away your strength and force you into your weakness. And as long as they can continue to do that against these teams that they're playing throughout the regular season, it'll be great. The problem is going to be when they get a team that's going to stress them. And I'm going to stay on, and that's my point right there. Defense just hasn't been stressed yet as far as playing a balanced attack team. So anyway, baby sis, how you doing today? Because you've been quiet the whole time.
I'm good. I was quiet because I came in late, so I was trying to listen and keep the scene a little piece. How y'all feeling tonight? Sup, podcast land?
We
feeling good. Feeling good. Man, I can't wait to hit this road tomorrow.
Will you be safe? Okay, Mike?
That ain't gonna happen.
Be safe. Be careful. Please.
Okay. I make sure. Okay.
Please.
Be safe. Gotcha. Don't catch COVID. Gotcha. Don't
Yes.
don't catch the flu. Gotcha.
Yes.
Don't catch
I
no.
would say don't drink and drive, but
Don't catch nothing else either.
Don't catch. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Just be
I'm with y'all.
okay.
All right. So here's my thing for y'all, panel, because y'all didn't respond to my to my comment earlier today. Y'all cool with the question of the day?
We are. I got a quick question for little sis. Marquise said, "Do you have ties to Meeks?"
Who are you talking? Oh,
He's
sis.
talking to Kira.
Yes, my daddy is Coach Lovejoy Ken. My
Marquise.
grandmother used to be the mayor.
Oh wow. Wow. I think I see that. Do I see that on the sign going down 75 when I'm 75 south? I don't know. Shut up, Mike. That ain't what I'm talking about.
I ain't said nothing.
Marquis says, I really enjoy y'all as well. Y'all do a great job every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I hope y'all receive every good blessing that comes your way. Thank you, Marquise. We appreciate it. And the same to you. May you be blessed beyond measure. Miss Linda says, thank you. I love you too. Linda is a great name. Shout out. Safe travels. Yes. Linda means pretty. And I can tell by your picture, you are quite beautiful. Tick says, Mike, it sounds like cocktails and bad decisions for you all weekend.
All of
Man,
that.
what? That ass on.
You don't know the half, Tick. Ken says he's from whatever that is. Say that for me, Kira. I don't know what that is. Okay, so he's from O'Clockney. Okay.
Yeah, I got people all up and through there.
I'm fixing to go look and see what that is. Gary says he's looking at Pierce County versus Appleton County on YouTube. Neither one will match up to Thompson's speed. Jeremy says, bro, just go fix a bowl of cereal and sit down somewhere. And when he fixes his bowl of cereal, you go right behind him and fix you a bowl too, and you sit down with him and talk. How about that?
Heck no.
Tick says nobody. Kelvin says Tick. Nobody has stopped him, but I think he will be slowed down. Yeah. Okay. So, anybody ready for the question of the day? Is that where we are now?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me do something real fast. I gotta get it bigger so it can be seen on the screen. Bam. There we go. That's that there. Bam. And then we're gonna do it like this here. We're gonna do that. Don't stress my wording because I can't speak English that good. So if it don't make sense, it'll make sense. Jessica can help make it make sense.
Okay, so I'm sure you all have seen this viral video about this girl that would not get out of the car because a guy took her on a date to the Cheesecake Factory, and he said, well, fine, we don't have to go, and he took her home. And so I think it was fake, but it did spark conversation. And so this week there's this whole list that's compiled of places women don't want to go on a first date. So the question of the day, where don't you want to go on a first date? And so Tick and Scott kicked it off by saying jail. Of course not, but something tells me if you go to jail on your first date, that was a hell of a date. It might be.
Yeah, for sure.
It might
Can't
be.
argue. You got some memories on. You got some stories to tell on that one.
Yes. So let's see. I'll answer the question first. You want to answer it first, or you want me to go?
Well, I know for me, to be honest, I don't want to go no club then like where it's gonna be loud music. I wouldn't want to go there because I'm trying to figure you out. So I don't want to go to no club or anywhere with loud music, no lounge, nothing like that. That
Jeremy
joke.
said he don't want to go to an ultrasound appointment. Oh my lord!
Were you with me Friday?
You throw it off. Oh my lord. Okay, so Scott says he doesn't want to go to a wrestling match.
Heck no. I ain't gonna ask on that one.
Obadiah says for the small cities, Applebee's or the Mexican restaurant. You fancy, aren't you, Obadiah? My McDonald's. And Tick says your finesse game suffers in the club. Let's see. My where I don't want to go on a first date would be the strip club.
Damn.
We can go. We can go later on, but initially, no, not the strip club, and somewhere that's loud and noisy, like Mike said. Because if I agree to go on a date with you, I just want to get to know you, so I don't kind of figure some things out, and I'm interested. So honestly, I don't have a preference with regard to where we go, as long as it's somewhere that we can sit down and we can talk and communicate. I mean, I have gone on a breakfast date to Crystal. I mean, that's not often, but I've done it before simply because I'm not looking to see what I can get out of you. I'm genuinely trying to get to know you. So, that can come. And I don't want to go to your house for the first date, and I don't want you coming to mine. But other than that, I'm pretty much open.
This joker here funny. This joker said, I do not want to go to Albany, Georgia.
I don't blame you. In Albany, the Applebee's is the club, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Scott said he don't want to go to the tattoo parlor. Marquis said he doesn't do the club. Beatrice said the woods. Oh no, I don't want to go there either. And especially if I don't know you, you might leave me out there. No. DUI school. Okay.
Y'all crazy.
Gary, that's Jeremy Williams. He's an Appleton County pirate. Ken Hortman says back seat of the car.
Your mama house.
Yeah, if you in the back seat of your car on the first date, that's your business. But that ain't where I want to go.
I ain't got no problem with the back seat as long as you ain't pissing.
You know it's the fall.
I know, right?
Y'all stop it. Please say seriously, nowhere that takes the focus off of the conversation between two grown people. That is correct.
But Jeremy, stop it.
J-Bo said he don't want to go to Troup County. I don't want to go to Troup County regardless.
Period. For nothing.
My auntie
hold on.
passed away. Yeah, go on block now.
Yeah, because I was about to say they about to get blocked. They tight. As soon as I see that C come up, they gone.
There's AB. No, that's somebody. Marquis said my daughter said Applebee's. Over there, said all that backseat action going down in Tally this weekend. It might.
I don't know about Tally, but I know it's going down in the Ville, baby. Duval.
It's FAMU's homecoming. Somebody will be getting on in Tallahassee, but it will not be me. God says Cook versus Fitzgerald. You damn
no
right
comment.
About that,
it is no comment, but it is fall.
Georgia.
Definitely fall, bro.
Where is your at when you need him?
I'm glad he ain't on here, low down thing. But yeah, I don't want to be. I don't want to go to that game either.
Hold on. We all don't answer this question, except for baby sis.
I said your mama house.
Oh, that was
You
right about that. I don't.
No, we can't. We can't stop by here real quick. You better handle that before you know.
No, because I am not trying to meet your mama. If I agree to a first date, which is never mind. Okay.
You know what? I would not want to go to a wedding on the first date.
Oh no.
No. No.
Funeral.
Yeah, that was Scott just said. And that would make me think about a wedding. Definitely not going to a wedding on the first date. Never would.
I wouldn't even. Ooh. You invite me to a wedding on a first date, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be sick Saturday. I can't go. Yeah, I ain't trying to meet your mama. I ain't trying to meet your family. I don't want you to get any ideas about, trying to
about nothing.
Is about getting married and all that.
Yeah, cause that first date thing coming to your house, coming to that family gathering for Thanksgiving, Christmas dinner, or cookout. Nah, not happening, bruh.
One time when
Mm-mm.
my daddy told me one time about this lady that want
Hold
to
on, let me get my book out because I know you finna say something.
no, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. She wanted to get out and meet my mama, my grandmama. And my daddy told her no. He had to stop by the house to get a key or something because he had to go pick up my Aunt Mary from work. And she was like, "Let me get out with you." He said, "No, stay in the car." She was like, "No, I want to meet your mama." He was like, "Ugh. You asked for it." And so she came in and she introduced herself. And my grandmama said, Gene, why the hell you bring this alley bat in this damn house? Get your ass out of here and go get married.
Alley back.
Alley bat. And she looked real stupid.
Alley bat,
I
right
told
there.
you.
See, I knew you. See, I knew you were gonna say something. I need to write down.
And ironically, I bring up my grandmama, but today marks 30 years since she passed. She passed 30 years ago today. So shout out to Janie Jones Abrams. I just thought about that. But yeah, she said get that damn alley bat out of here. So yeah. So ladies, don't be trying to meet nobody mama on the first day either because you get your feelings hurt.
Obadiah, shit. That's the objective is to get to the hotel on the first date. What is
Why?
you talking about?
Why is it
Why?
always the objective? You just want to get to
Why?
know somebody.
Oh
Everybody's
yeah,
not trying to go to the hotel on the first date.
man. We grown adults, man. Shit,
I mean,
we
if you
all
end
got
up
needs.
there, ain't nothing wrong with it, and that's your business. But I'm just saying that's not everybody's aim.
All I'm
Uh,
saying is, if she show up to the date with no panties on, then why not?
okay, so it's not Friday, so I'm gonna read these comments real quick. Ken said family reunion and find out your cousins.
Boy, that's
Listen,
hilarious right there.
listen, yeah, my buddies ain't on here, so they can't tell you no stories. But yeah, Scott said I plan to work until lunch on the day of my funeral. I got you.
Not lunch.
Much. I'm still in that one too. I'm taking that one just so you know.
Yeah, he's a thief. Go on and take it. At least he tell you. Yeah, let's see. Scott Westbrook, that game will require bulletproof vests and armored cars. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I don't want to. That's the other thing. I don't necessarily want to go try out the hood spot on the first date.
No, we need to stay in well-lit areas.
Yes, I ended up. I don't know how I don't know how I ended up on a date in the dang on club up there in Atlanta. Went in the club and somebody died in the middle of the dance floor.
Wow.
It was it was crazy. But
Yeah,
anyway,
not going to
yeah,
the
we're
club
not
with
going
you.
there anymore.
Yeah, we're not going to the club with you.
I don't go to the club. That was 20 some years ago. That's
We
not
gonna
my
we
that's not
we
my
gonna
thing. And then went on the first date with this dude and he was telling me about how he drive trucks, but he just drive a truck so he could flip this money and get him some bricks. And I was like, oh, okay.
you a
And
stupid drug dealer, huh?
I kindly moved on. Like, no,
Hmm.
I'm doing
Don't
that. Yeah.
I'm gonna need for you to do your diamond thing right now. If y'all don't know who Diamond is, y'all need to get up on power.
I don't know who Diamond is.
I know
Strip
who
Oh,
you're
clubs
talking
are
about.
strip clubs are safer than a regular club.
huh? Since when?
In what?
Where at?
I
Where
never
at?
did they refund the deceased person's coverage. Hell no, they did.
Shit, you know they pocketed
No
that.
shit. That was a first and last day. I ain't never seen that dude ever again. And yeah, yeah. You have to matter of fact, too, you have to ask Five. I asked her to come with me because I didn't know that dude like that. So she came. We were at Athens at the time. She had to tell you about that time I met the dude that wanted to flip some money.
Mm-mm-mm.
It was crazy. But no, they didn't. That I don't think they did. I got the hell up out of there after that. Um why strip? I've never been to a strip club, but I am open to going to one. after we've been dating for a while. Does that make me crazy?
No, I'm just
No.
curious.
Yeah, but no, not on the first go round. I'm not doing that.
Shit, but you walk in the strip club, boy, you coming out high as a kite off a contact.
Well, then I don't need to go.
Shit.
Well, so I think we got a robust number of answers. I think that was pretty good.
Yeah. Ain't the one I wanted to ask, but I couldn't ask that one though.
You gotta wait till Friday to ask that one.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna say yeah, you know what? If I am on Friday, I'll ask. But I'll give it to y'all though after the show.
Ted says I can't see you in C-section city, Jess. What is C-section city? You talking about Clark? Are you talking about Clark County? Yeah,
I think he's talking about the strip club.
That's what I'm thinking talking about.
Oh, you can't see me. Oh, okay. Marquis said me and my girlfriend went to the mall on our first date, and we've been together almost 10 years. Oh, that's so sweet. That's a nice.
You took a window shopping.
Or either they might have just sat in the bench in the middle of the mall and just had a conversation and it will
Man, they sat there and talked about everybody walking by. That's what they did.
Yeah, making observations. That is therapeutic. I think that's a wonderful first date. I would do that in a minute.
Sure would.
Coffee. I don't expect you paying a whole bunch of money. You know
Now I will say this on the first date, guys, and this is for the fellas. Don't take no girl to no expensive restaurant on the first date because now you're setting the bar, and you setting the bar that you may not be able to maintain.
Exactly.
So do not take her to an expensive restaurant. After y'all been dating for a few months and you want to do something special, then yeah, you could take her out to a expensive restaurant. You know, maybe Longhorn. But I'm just saying though, like prime example, if you in the Atlanta area, don't take your girl to Raise on the River on the first date.
Ooh, if you take me to Raise on the River, I'll love you forever though.
I'm just saying you don't do
Raise
that.
on the River.
It's
You
nice.
don't
It's nice.
Y'all there. Let me tell you something. You walking up in there, you spending $250 right off the grip.
You know, not necessarily. They got a brunch. They have a brunch on Sundays. You can get that was 10 years ago, but it was like $35. So it's
not
probably
a brunch.
It's probably about $40 now.
Nah, the brunch done changed since COVID. They don't do the buffet bar no more since COVID.
Oh.
Yeah, that buffet bar was off the chain. But
you can
know
take
what
it
I'm
to Fogo the show. You can go to Fogo the show and spend about $80 a piece if you want to be. You know what I'm saying? That's nice.
You're in the Atlanta area. Don't take her to McCormick's. Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, not right
off the rip. Because when you do that, like as sis agreed, you're setting a standard that you may not be able to maintain. So start off in the middle.
And can I say this to gentlemen? Don't ask me where I want to go. If you ask me out, just plan it.
Well, now here's the thing. To that. Y'all gonna have that conversation, right? Somewhere in that conversation, fellas, you ask the girl, you got any allergies? You allergic to anything?
Yeah.
So that way you can try and figure out, or do you have a preference of what you like to eat? That way you can figure out where you want to go.
You can give her options, but plan. Don't get in the car and say, "Hey, where you want to go? What you want to do?" Don't do that. That's a turn off. But while y'all are talking in the pre-planning stages, and you can ask her, what she likes, what her interests are, what her hobbies are, all that kind of stuff, and then just plan something accordingly.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna stop giving the. You know what? I can't put no more game out there. I ain't gonna put no more game.
The game is to be sold, not to be told, Mike.
Exactly. So
he said we didn't talk about anybody. I took her shopping and took her out to eat. Well, hell, I see why she's still with you after 10 years.
Yeah, you took her shopping here. Boy, you set the standard too goddamn high from the jump.
Well, it worked out. They've been together for 10 years. He is happy.
I guess so. She happy too.
They go
and Jeremy, that's why you got multiple Facebook profiles right now. You're lonely.
Tell me again.
But I will say this though, Cheesecake Factory is not a bad spot though.
No, I would go.
They do have some good food. Now, don't get me wrong. is hood fabulous in my opinion. Kind of like a Papados is hood fabulous now. You know,
It's
motherfuckers.
nice. It's nice.
No, because my thing is with like Papados and we got another restaurant up here. It's Papados and I can't think of the other one off rip. But you know, folks will get their tax refunds and they'll set money off to the side just to go to Papados. You know what I'm saying? So it done got hood rich, hood fabulous. I'm just glad people ain't doing raids on the river like that.
You keep putting it out there, they will. They about to start doing fuck on the show like that.
Nah, raids on the river got a dress code.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was dressed up when I went in there, but I don't know. I was in there the same time Candy Burns was in there, and what she walked in with, good. I was like, oh, that woman cannot dress.
Yeah,
But
but
anyway,
she got money though.
So they let her in, but she looked a mess. Take her shopping at 10 below. No, I wouldn't.
Man, we're going to 5 and below. I don't know about no 10 and below.
I'm
We go
about to
5
say
below.
10 below. 10 below what?
We
I
not
know we
going
got.
to the $5 store either. Now,
Okay, then. We'll go to Dollar General.
No. First
Well,
of all,
you could. So 5 below has like the little easels and stuff. So it could be like part of the date. Go pick out your
Nah,
own paints and your easels.
I
Your
got one for you.
canvas.
Nah, go to Hobby Lobby or Michaels, and that's where y'all go do that arts and craft stuff at. Now, if you want to be slick with it, take it to Kirkland's.
Lord. I mean, first of all, find out what she likes.
Yeah.
I hate shopping. I'm like a dude. When I have to shop, I go in for what I need and I get the heck on because I hate it. My mama and my sister used to keep me in the store all day, and I hate shopping. So, just find out what she likes. She might not like to shop. Now, if you took me shopping on the first date, I will go with you because I'm nice enough and I got manners, but it's not something that I need to do all the time.
And even still, I'm gonna pick something out real quick and we can go because I ain't got time for this.
Thank you.
You know what, Mr. Odoms? You all right on that. She won the cutest thing.
Yeah, she did. I was like, what is she talking about? She wasn't unattractive, but I was like, baby, who told you weren't good enough for me?
Yeah, I'll say it for you. She was unattractive. Cause what's the dude name that passed away that used to tell or they used to put the females in their place on his little
Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, he would have had a field day with
high
them.
quality women, but he was the opposite of what he was talking about.
Yeah,
Guy asked me how was homecoming. Homecoming was fan freaking tastic. I enjoyed myself. I saw almost everybody I wanted to see. I wasn't able to see Tick, although I was at the Sigma tent. Where were you, sir? But I had a great time just fellowshipping with my girls and seeing all my friends. I partied Friday night, Saturday night I hung out. It was phenomenal. Now Sunday I couldn't move, but I mean it's okay.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. You sit up here making me mad right now because I got invited to the classic and I can't go.
Oh, why not?
I gotta work.
Oh, bummer. But
I know, right?
Yeah, but yeah, so I will be doing this again I'll be doing it at FAMU this weekend, and then Auntie will be outside this weekend, and Auntie will be outside next weekend, and then Auntie is staying in the house till probably March when I have to go take my niece to space camp.
Been done cut something up by the. Okay. All right. So anyway, I do want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, having fun with us. I sure do appreciate you.
Yes.
You are the reason why we do what we do.
Yes.
I don't know what happened to EP, Dro, and Yo, but I wish y'all had connections to stay on. But man, you missed a good one tonight.
Yeah. We appreciate it. Yeah, I miss you. You shaking hands and kissing babies, Tick. Obadiah is going to FAMU's homecoming. Hit me up or look for me. I should be at the Q tent. Well, thank you, Marquise. And thank you to everybody. Thanks to the panel. Y'all did a fantastic job. Special shout out to Drew.
Yes, 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 yes.
Thanks,
Look,
guys.
and we look forward to trying to get Drew back on route when the before the playoffs get started.
Yeah.
Definitely once the season wraps up and the playoffs get started, get him back on. Give us his insight on things and converse with him again.
Yes. Kelvin says he's going to be in Birmingham at the Magic City Classic.
Did
You are
somebody
going to
say?
Tampa?
Did somebody say Magic City?
They
Huh?
did, but not the strip club. They're
Oh,
talking about the largest HBCU classic, which is the Magic City Classic in Birmingham between Alabama State and Alabama A&M. That is on my bucket list as well. FAMU Homecoming is on my bucket list. I'm gonna knock that out this year. And then the world's largest cocktail party is on my bucket list. I'm gonna knock that out. And the Magic City Classic is on my bucket list, and I'm gonna knock that out. I might knock out the Florida Classic this year too. I don't know yet.
girl, come on down to Jacksonville. We're gonna have some fun.
I'm gonna be in
Come on,
Tallahassee. I'm not. I
girl,
can't.
just jump on 10 and ride for a couple of hours. Ride for about 2 hours.
No, I'm gonna enjoy my. I'm gonna enjoy the sights in Tallahassee.
For sure. But again, appreciate y'all tuning in. Anybody got some final words to say, baby sis?
You better not lose.
Great way to end it. Take care.
Peace up, A Town down. Y'all have a good one. Love y'all.